Hello and welcome back everybody to the Mineski Pro Gaming League season number 6. We are down to the last leg number 6 as is as well. Nvidia Aces versus the Prime Siapa in a best of 3 series. We are at game number 2. Of course, we are HeflaTV. I'm Coach and once again I am joined by Mr. Blackadder.
Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are in the world, ladies and gentlemen. And, well, we had a very interesting game 1, didn't we, Couch?
Oh yes, of course we did. I mean, definitely didn't expect a dual mid lane Bristleback and IO to work out quite as well as it did. But at the moment, in the draft, funny enough, there's still no bans. Is Aces drafter AFK or what? I mean, in the chat, nobody has said anything about a remake or anything, so I have no clue what's going on.
Indeed, I instinctively checked for a potential remake myself, but nonetheless, here we go. Void immediately banned out, followed by the Terrorblade. And banning on Terrorblade is something we have seen a fairly large amount lately. I mean, it's good to see Terrorblade in the game these days with the Captain's Mode scene, but the only player I think I have seen get his hands on it was Black for VC, and he did some magnificent work with the Terrorblade, so I can understand why it was first banned territory.
I have also seen Terrorblade a couple of times, not casted it myself, but just seen other teams play it when watching streams, or competitive plays that is. And to be honest, I have to say, in the first game when the Terrorblade also got banned out, it felt to me like somebody's using the console bug to ban out heroes that actually aren't in Captain's Mode. But that's not the case anymore.
No, it's good to see more heroes being acted to Captain's Mode. Personally, I want to see more of Legion Commander, but I'm wondering how much we're actually going to see it picked. Then again, for this game, there's also a ban out on the Tidehunter and a ban out on the Wisp. First pick is the Death Prophet, and Nvidia Aces only have 9 seconds reserve time, so they're going to have to pick pretty damn quickly from this point onwards. But Centaur Skywrath for the Prime, and, well, powerful offlaner, very nice support. Who's going to be the combo for the Skywrath, though? Will it be a Zeus again, or are we going to see the likes of maybe the Earthshaker? Look for that power of team fight with the Echo Slam.
Earthshaker definitely is just such a strong hero, even though I guess he got nerfed a little bit. He's still just so damn strong, especially the Fisher early on, in combination with the Scarlet Mage, like you mentioned, just for them to roam around. Other combinations, I guess Wraith King is still also a possibility. Even something like a Juggernaut does pop out every now and then with the Skywrath.
Well, Juggernaut Skywrath we've seen done by... Oh, who was that? That wasn't Insidious Idol. That was... Invasion.
First Departure.
Invasion
and Insidious Idol and First Departure have been running it the most, I guess.
Well, it does work quite nicely. I mean, Skywrath Mage has a very powerful slow. Sure, it's been nerfed in this patch, so I doubt we're going to see much more of that Juggernaut combo, but it was powerful because of the Blade Flurry into the slow of the Skywrath, which, sure, can work, but I'm wondering if that's going to be the best one in this case, considering Batrider can escape this fairly easily. Death Prophet is a very quick hero by default. I can understand it against the lower movement speed heroes, but I don't think that's going to be the order of business here. We're going to see the Nature's Prophet instead, and we're looking for a form of push coming through.
I mean, Nature Prophet is just such a strong hero overall. The global presence he provides, and it's just so hard to deal with him. Of course, Batrider is pretty damn good in dealing with Red Dota. Just come with the Firefly, blink over the trees, lasso him up, and Nature Prophet really doesn't have too much to say about it. But Aces themselves, they have a Death Prophet. Shadow Shaman still available if that's a hero they want to go for, but picking up a Chikira instead, it's decent for counter pushing with the Macro Pyre. Excellent for pushing yourself with the Liquid Fire. So definitely not a bad pick here, and do you think Aces, they're gonna focus even more on pushing now?
I'm unsure, and there's our Zeus once again from the Prime, trading hands this time, and Zeus is very popular of late in the SEA scene, and it's quite nice to see considering I do like myself some Thunder God, but for pushing power, I don't think we're going to see anything more than the Jakiro Death Prophet. Going any more, I don't think is a very wise idea in this incarnation of the patch, because if you really want to go for that Death Ball meta and you want to be repeatedly pushing towers, you're going to have to go through multiple glyphs because of the whole glyph refreshing when a tier 1 falls. It slows down the push and gives the enemy lineup, in this case the Prime, an ability to come in and look to fight off the back of the glyph defense. But now for Aces, we get the Undying, and this is a hero I love to see. Very deceptive in how much damage he actually does since he steals strength. Every time he casts Decay, even at level 1, you've got to consider that's 4 strength being stolen. That is 76 health total being reduced, and as well as the 20 damage. Very deceptive, though.
Yeah, Undying overall can definitely be so damn strong, and I'm kind of hoping to see him in a Trilane versus Trilane situation where he just thrives completely. Also, the Tombstone buff, just increasing the range. It actually creates the zombies at a ridiculous range when it's maxed out.
Indeed, it does. I mean, the threat of a tombstone as well is one of the best heroes in a tri-v-tri scenario. And Dying is picked to completely destroy a tri-lane a lot of the time. He can solo, but putting him solo is only generally wise when you're against a melee hero, if you can. It's very hard to predict that kind of draft, though. And for the final bans, we get a ban on the Meepo and a ban on the Tusk.
A Tusk ban, that's nothing. It's something you don't see every day. And oh, an anti-mage pick for the Prime. Okay, then I guess Aces, they don't have the craziest amount of lockdown. Death Prophet Silence still might be a pain, together with just the lasso. But what do you make of this anti-mage here?
I sort of did a double take because I haven't seen an anti-mage pick in quite a while, and I got to say, I'm loving this new patch. I mean, I know some people have been hating it. I agree, maybe the golds was a little bit over the top at the beginning, but that's been tweaked down. The mechanics changes, however, to the heroes. I love this patch for that. We've seen some of the old favorites come back. I've seen Anti-Mage, Terrorblades in the pool. We've seen the likes of Morphling return, Zeus more often, Undying for Christ's sake. And now we get a Juggernaut. This is just nice. I don't know about you guys, but just new picks. Not a Razor, not a Void, not a Tinker. Just, it's refreshing for one, and for two, these are some of my favourite heroes to see played. We've got the Juggernaut, we've got an Undying. I mean, anyone that knows me knows I love these heroes. Well, I don't know about you, but we're looking for a fight-heavy, brawl-heavy game in my mind. You've got an anti-mage who's going to be farming for a lot of time, yes, but Centaur, he likes to fight. Skyreth Mage can fight fairly well, and then you've got a Zeus to nuke as well, from Boo Boo. This is going to be very nice.
Yeah, it definitely should be, considering that, I mean, even the anti-mage, he's fairly mobile, and with that, I think we might see a slightly more aggressive anti-mage than we usually do, just joining fights every now and then as well. Just because they have so much global presence as it is. Just also having the anti-mage blink in, just assisting even with a couple of mana breaks, might already be enough, but for Aces, I guess we have to introduce them as well. So Secret will be playing the Juggernaut. He was handling the IO last time around, so might be a support Juggernaut here. With Fox being on the Chakiro, leaving Killer and Hawk 7 on the Undying. Tovlo once again on the offlane Batrider, and mid lane taken up by Misa on the Death Prophet.
And on the flip side of this coin, for the Prime, we've got Y2K handling the Centaur Warrunner. He's down on that safe lane in this case. We've got on the Anti-Mage, Monang, going to be handling the carries once again. And are we going to be seeing an aggressive Anti-Mage? That could be something interesting. But for the rest of the team, we do have SCL reprising his role as the Skywrath Mage. Over on the Zeus, we've got Boo Boo, who's actually might be in a bit of trouble. Does eat a Firefly, but I don't think he's going to get any kill on that one. Zeus takes the regen, and that's going to deter the bat for a little bit. And finally, of course, on the offlane, we've got Nefari handling the Nature's Prophet. And it seems the Anti-Mage is going to be rotating a mid-AM? Surely we're not seeing a mid-AM. This is the first time I've actually seen the AM take this lane in the history of me watching Dota 2. I mean, normally we'll see him being in the safe lane carry role, mainly just so he can farm up freely. Now then, he's here up against Misa, and I don't think he's going to do very well in this lane.
I have seen it a couple of times before, but that was like before TI2 or close enough to TI2 where Anti-Mage was like the go-to hero anyway. So I've seen it a couple of times, but it's definitely not a popular thing, or it didn't even used to be a popular thing in the past. So we'll see, and like you said, Misa definitely should be having the upper hand here, unless the Skywrath Mage really just babysits the Anti-Mage throughout the entire laning phase. And even if it does, that just limits the potential for Skywrath Mage himself, I feel like.
Yeah, I'll agree, and it's going to be level advantage towards Misa, even if SCL is here, just because he's going to be able to stay in the experience range. But I think this is going to be a case of, this is going to be a wait-and-see kind of game, because I have no judge for how well Monang's going to deal this lane, or handle this lane. I'm going to say I'm going to put my bet on Aces, because I feel they've got the better draft and the better lanes, but I'm not going to count out the Prime. I mean, Anti-Mage, he was one of the favourite carries back before TI2 for a good reason. Now he's had his strength buffed, he's a little bit more tanky across the game, considering he has, I believe, a higher strength gain, I believe the tweak was. No, it was a higher base HP, sorry for that. And, well, Back then, it was the iconic matchup, Morphling versus Anti-Mage. Now, I'm wondering what we're going to see this time, because we've got that Juggernaut, we've got the power of a Death Prophet. The cores for aces, they are more early game centric. I mean, Juggernaut falls off past the 30-minute mark. The Death Prophet, sure, she has some late game power, but the earlier level advantage for her favors her a bit more. And of course, you've got the Bat Rider, who's good throughout for the power of a 4-staff, as well as that Blink Dagger. But it's going to be a curious one.
Also, it just, the Undying falls off rather heavily as well. Yes, he got buffed a little bit, but I mean, Aces, they're definitely looking to just take early command of this game, start taking the tier 1 towers. Yes, it's harder now with the glyph resetting itself after every tier 1 falls. Still, between the Liquid Fire, which is going to get maxed out rather fast considering the Fox is a core check hero, they might still have enough. At least Nafar isn't getting too much done in the offlane at the moment. I guess the same can be said for Tove on the Batrider though. Still level 1.
Well, it's going to be a very tough offlane for Tove. I mean, you've got to consider he's going up against Zeus, played by Boo Boo, and of course Y2K. If he missteps once, he's going to be blown up quicker than you can think. Double Edge, Hoof Stomp, Thunderbolt, Static Field. He will die in seconds.
He definitely won't have too good of a time here. I guess as long as he has Firefly, he should be able to just outrun the Centaur, unless Centaur has the Stampede and is level 6. But of course, for that, he needs level 2, just to make sure that there are always, or is always at least one stack of Sticky Napalm on Y2K to make sure he doesn't get the Hoof Stomp.
I think when I look at this game, I see one weakness here for Aces. I think they should have an okay lane across the board, but you do have threats coming in to go onto Misa here, and he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Nefari TP's in, and this is going to be an easy kill onto the mid lane Death Prophet here, which surprises me, but... okay, this is how they've done it. Monang has gone for the 1-1-1 build. I'm wondering if we're not going to see a point in stats come up next, levels 4 and 5. Who was it who did this build? It's not Black's signature build.
It's Burning.
Yeah, Burning's builds. I mean, it'll help him tank up, and not only that, it's going to help him have more mana so he can just keep blinking in fights. But it's, again, an Orthodox want to see in this mid lane. I mean, the one advantage that the Anti-Mage has here is if Misa tries to spam Cryptstorm too much, then the Anti-Mage is going to blink in and drain the rest of the mana away. I mean, it's what the Anti-Mage can do. Just jump in, right-click once or twice, burn a little bit of mana, then go back to CSing. Especially with the slow coming through from the Skywrath. This is going to be a game where it's going to be a very high learning curve for me, since it's something new for me to see, but nonetheless, it is going to be a first tower of the game down in favor of Aces, and from where we sit, I feel like for a tri-lane with an Undying, a Jakiro, and a...
Boo Boo might be in a hell of a lot of trouble at the moment. Batrider wants to chase him down. 3 stacks of Sticky Napalm already there. I think assistance is coming. SCL. He comes around. There's the Lightning Bolt with the Ancient Seal to boost up the damage. Boo Boo is not going to go down in the Firefly. Nature Prophet even thought about TPing in. Not even necessary by the end. But Aces, they're like, yeah, we're going to lose a hero, but we're just still going to go for the tier 2 anyway. And, well, with the Treants, I think Nature Prophet should be able to just slow down the push enough here.
He'll slow it down, but he won't stop it. I mean, this is the benefit here of Fox with that Liquid Fire. He's going to slow down the tower so much, then you throw in a mass healing ward. It's going to go forward and heal the creep wave a little bit. But you got to consider, the tri-lane here, it's got an Undying. It's designed to kill, and it got put up against a Nature's Prophet. So what can they do in exchange? They can push towers, that's it. The Tombstone's going to come in and just threaten. Nefari won't get anything. He won't be able to slow down this push anymore because of the Tombstone. And while that's all going on, the tower is falling. They're using a kill-oriented tri-lane to push instead, which is working in this case since they've already done a good amount of damage to the tier 2. And if they can manage to bring down that tier 2, this could all be over. But the fun thing here is you're still getting levels going for the Nature's Prophet. And if that Nature's Prophet can get his level 6 or higher, then you mix in a Zeus, well, Thunder God's Nature's Wrath. Do I really need to add anything else to that?
I don't think you have to. I mean, anybody who's seen it once will just have it memorized for the rest of their lives pretty much. That combination, if done correctly, just blows people up, especially early on into the game. Of course, if they don't manage to bring the heroes down afterwards, Healing Ward might be enough to just get everybody back to full HP afterward. So, TP, if they go for that combination, they have to make sure that they have the follow-up to it as well.
Well, they do have the follow-up potential. I mean, you've got an anti-mage. He can blink in and close that distance. You've got a centaur who will eventually be going for a blink dagger, only 1,000 gold away. And you also have the threat of a...
Skyrev getting chased down by some zombies. One more creep swarm should be enough. Misa, is he gonna get it? Actually, he's going for the right clicks to stampede, just not quite enough. But now Misa might be in some trouble. Mana break comes through, healing ward is there. The lightning bolt is not enough. Actually, Monarch even used the mana void there, just couldn't get the kill. So in the end, they 1-for-1.
I'm surprised the anti-mage didn't blink forward and go for Misa aggressively there. I mean, that could have been a very good kill, but Death Prophet's going to hobble away on low life. They don't have a Thunder God's Wrath either. No, missing 2 levels to be able to use that, so not quite enough. But now you do have Fox, who's playing fairly aggressively on that Jakiro. Still, Boo Boo can come in and at least slow this push down with Chain Lightning, and I think the Chain Lightning is the better one for slowing this push, but you don't have the mana capacity on the Zeus at this point, which is a bit of a problem. But nonetheless, they're going to continue sieging this tier 2 slowly, and just look at the creeps burn down. I mean, this is the power of the liquid fire. It's level 3 right now. It'll slow the tower down by 40%, or 40 attacks, so it's going to be quite the aggressive style coming out of Fox, and it's something that is quite refreshing to see. But my question is, why the Juggernaut in this case? Since the Juggernaut is playing that full support role, he hasn't really got much or done much this game. If you really needed the healing ward, I mean, you could have picked a Chenna and Enchantress, which would have had the jungle. Then you would have had the ability to get experience from that as well. Right now, you've got a Secret who's just trying to farm the jungle as best he can. Can't do it as efficiently as either a Chenna or Enchantress. And he falls off a lot sooner in the support role than the Chenna or the Enchantress would. Especially the Enchantress. I mean, Impetus is really good throughout the game. Especially against Anti-Mage, considering it's pure damage. Goes through the spell shield.
I completely get where they're coming from, and actually think also it's a little bit weird, and especially since Shakira isn't even building for a mech for their team. I guess Death Prophet could go for one as well, but at the moment, not too sure if he will. So just lacking the mech. I mean, Healing Ward is potentially better than a mech, but then again, Anti-Mage can just blink on it and get that kill on the Healing Ward with one right click, and that's it.
Well, this is the other thing on the topic of Anti-Mage here. This is a mid lane anti-mage up against a Death Prophet, which I didn't think would do well. He is 460 gold away from his Battle Fury at less than 10 minutes.
He's also 30 last hits, or not 30, well, almost 30 last hits ahead of the Death Prophet as well. Of course, Quelling Plate helping out a little bit, and I guess the Skyrev Mage was just pain enough for Misa to actually out Death Prophet. Doesn't pop his exorcism quite yet. Almost went for it, cancelled the animation though. So it's gonna be fine. In the bottom lane though, Tove, oh my god. Oh, Nafari, say bye bye Nature Prophet. He's only level 5 as well. Can't even use Breath of Nature before. There's the last, so into Blade Fury. Stampede actually comes out. Can they make it so that he escapes? Are you kidding me? I was so sure he's gonna go down Sprout. It's not enough at the moment. Lightning Bolt comes through though. Boo Boo. He's there for the assistance. Healing Ward. He gets the kill on it. Needs another Lightning Bolt at the very least on Secret. Does get it as well. Somehow reaches it with the Lightning Bolt. So Nature Prophet survives. Nice stampede by the Centaur.
Indeed, and well, this is the good rotations coming through from Prime. They realized, yep, we're going to lose our Nature's Prophet, so they bring in the Zeus. The Zeus is the only one that could have slowed that down enough. The Stampede helped as well, managing to get away from that Blade Flurry, and that's going to slow down the ability to kill the Nature's Prophet just far too much. And there's still threat onto this tier 1 on the bot lane. But flip side of the coin, tier 2 on the top lane is falling in favor of Aces. They're going to pop the Fortification there. That's only got 70 life remaining. They're going to go onto SCL now. He does manage to get his slow off, but that doesn't matter. The Liquid Fire is going to be there, and Jakiro will get the kill on the tier 2. But now we've got the Blink Dagger available, and they're going to go straight onto the Undying. They finish him off before he can cast the Tombstone. Now comes the Macropire, the Ice Path. Will it be enough to burn down Y2K? I don't think so. And now they're going to just throw damage into Fox. Can they finish him off? The slow, it didn't come through in the end, but the Thunder God's Wrath is there, and that's a double kill for the Zeus. Who else got lit up like a bonfire? They lost the Death Prophet in the mid lane as well. So quite the ultimate there.
Definitely nicely timed there, and of course, oh, Wrath of Nature gets the kill. Oh my god. Or actually, Skyrev Mage got the kill together with the Wrath of Nature somewhere.
Global strat.
Yeah, it's just excellently played from the Prime at the moment, getting those kills. Of course, I think Center needn't have died there. He blinked in, went for the double edge, whereas he had the Hoof Stomp at the ready as well. Could have just blinked Hoof Stomp. Would have been an easy kill anyway on the escaping hero. And thanks to the double edge, the creep wave actually killed him in return. But, I mean, it's like 1-4-4 or something in the end, maybe even 5 by the complete end of the fight. And all the while, Anti-Mage just keeps on farming up.
Indeed, and what do we have coming online for the Anti-Mage? He's already got his Battle Fury, he's got his brown boots, we're looking for treads into... I'm thinking actually Vladimir's this game, then into a full Manta. Vlad's would help him out, the ability to just stand and fight due to the lifesteal. I think that might be the right order of business here, but now in comes the Stampede. They're going to go on that bot lane, focusing Misa. Misa will fall. Y2K still standing fairly healthy. The Tombstone didn't do anything to deter this, and we're going to see a bit of a chase come out from Aces. Can they do anything to get any kills here? I don't think they can. They're instead just going to have to throw some damage to the tower. The Liquid Fire will help, but if they're just going to split their focus and now go for another tower, another lane, that's going to be good. But now in comes Secret, has that Blade Flurry, but Y2K dukes himself out of it. Even used the Omni Slash there and couldn't follow up the kill, but now comes the damage of the Zeus, and even using the Thunder God's Wrath that wasn't necessary in the end. And if they can just light a hero up like that, this Zeus is going to be a very big force to be reckoned with. And honestly, his next item is going to be a Veil, and that's going to be even more scary. But now comes Misa on that Death Prophet, looks to do some good damage, but can't do anything. The Exorcism doesn't do anything at all in the end of this one. And now do we see the turnaround for Foxes? Boo Boo comes forward, Lightning Bolt's going to drop. Can they finish him off? I don't think so. Macropire's going to go down. That's going to at least kill SCL. But they did lose the Jakiro in exchange for that one, so 1-for-1. Made technically 2-for-1 when you count the Death Prophet as well, but now this fight isn't over yet. In comes the Tombstone. They're going to look for Nefari, who's trying to finish off the Tombstone before it can be a big threat, but in comes the healing and that Soul Rip from the Undying, and that'll be more than enough to finish off that Nature's Prophet.
Well, that was lots of back and forth going on here. Nature's Prophet, he thought he can get an easy kill onto Undying, but since the rest of the Prime were so damn low as it is, they actually tried to go in to help as well, but I think just some Tombstones and maybe a decay killed off the center, for example. So they really shouldn't have chased there, I guess. If Nature's Prophet hadn't TP'd in, I think like 3 of them had stayed alive. Oh, Silence Mystic Flare onto Secret. Lightning Bolt to finish it up by Boo Boo. Just such sick amounts of damage, and since the supports, they are level 8, almost level 9 on Skyref now as well. They just have so much to throw at Aces.
Indeed, and you got to consider that's a wicked sick now for Boo Boo on that Zeus. This game, the Zeus has done so much more than in game 1. And we're going to be seeing a Valid Discord soon as well. But now we get that Stampede, they're going mid lane, they're going to focus Misa, they get the kill fairly easily, and they didn't really need to commit much. Now they can get Fox, they caught him in the Sprout. Could be a kill, but they're going to have to back off. They don't have the ability to initiate once more. But TPs are coming in towards this mid lane. Secret is back up. He wants to try to fight. Does he have his Omni Slash in 9 seconds? The Omni Slash could help secure a kill, but it's only a level 1 Omni Slash still. And as an ultimate, that is a pretty weak one unless he can catch someone solo in the jungle, away from all the creeps.
Oh, just look at the damage coming off. Wrath of Nature, they need to get the healing ward to Boo Boo. Oh, he's overstanding so far already. 3-man Hooftop comes out. Blade Fury is there. Double H to follow, so it's a 1-for-1 so far. Boo Boo, he's gonna lose his life as well. Omni Slash into Nefari. One more right click will do the job here. And 3-for-1, man. It looked decent-ish with the Hooftop coming out from center. Well, they just got overwhelmed.
Indeed they did, and this is the power of the Undying. They blinked and were fighting under a tombstone. Rule 1 of fighting Undying in big flashing red lights. Don't fight under a tombstone.
That's pretty much the best way to put it as well at the moment. And now tier 1 goes down the cliff. It was like 30 seconds maximum off of being off cooldown. But look at, in the meantime, Monang just split pushing away tier 2 tower, already down to half HP. Of course, the same might be said for the tier 2 mid lane now. TP's coming in, it's going to be Boo Boo. Is he overextending? Ice Path catches him. Oh, Y2K, he blinks into the Ice Path. Blade Fury from Secret. He really doesn't want to go in that deep, I think. Sprout up onto Fox. Mystic Flare comes out. Jakiro is tanky, but is he tanky enough? He will scepters himself up. Now, Mana Void used by Monang. He's going to go for Aces. Thunder God's Wrath is there as well, but the Exorcism, it returns to him, getting the mana or the health back. It's not enough in the end. 2-for-0. Tombstone going to get killed as well, and Monang, he's not done yet. Gets the Firefly out of the Batrider, and wow, in the backline, Secret going for the TP out. One more right click. It wasn't enough.
Well, off the back of that, it's a 0-for-2 fight in favor of the Prime, and if the Prime can keep this kind of momentum, it's going to help them out into no end. And we've got to consider, Mongang has just been farming and split pushing towers in this game. On that top lane, he did some good damage to that tier 2. It's well under half. He's going for a Yasha, so we're going to see straight Manta instead of the Vlads that I thought we might see. So in the end of the day, Prime are going to come online with the ability to team fight very, very quickly, if not more so than we already have seen.
Yeah. I thought like, okay, Y2K running half HP a little bit less even into a Batrider might be bad for him, but there was a Zeus to help out. It literally all it took was Hoof Stomp, one Lightning Bolt, and the Double H, and Batrider was down.
Well, an easy pick-off on the bat like that is going to help them out to no end. What can we see coming up in favor of the Aces to help them recover in this one? And let's take a look at the graphs at the same time. It's a 7,500 gold lead the way of the Prime. Sure, recoverable, of course, in this patch. Same for experience, about 5,000. But item-wise, this is what I care about right now. Yules is going to be coming online hopefully soon for Misa. He needs one, in all honesty, to help him survive this potential initiation from Prime. Equally for the Undying, they're going to go mid lane actually.
He's gonna get actually, nope, he gets the blink out at the last second, 40 HP, still ticking low from the Liquid Fire, and he does go down in the end. Such a nice setup, just Yule Scepter into Ice Path, Macro Fire as well, Blade Fury waiting for him. Didn't even need the Omniscience, so they get a high priority kill at the very least.
High priority kill like that is what they needed, and if they can keep getting kills like that, it's going to be fine. Without the anti-mage, they can fight a lot easier, but they are all grouped up, and this is Hoof Stomp territory. Y2K, if he goes on anyone, he wants to go into Misa. With the Exorcism up, they need to focus. And there is no Tombstone for 27 seconds, so this is their best opportunity, but they'll sacrifice the tier 2. Now do we see the tier 3 initiation? Yes, we do. They're going to go straight into Nefari. The Ice Path is there, but they're just throwing all of the damage into him, but in comes the Thunder God's Wrath. There's damage from Y2K as well, but they can't finish off anyone. There was a mech popped, and now Undying going to go down to that last Arcane Bolt, and at the end of the day, double kill for the Way of Secret. But SCL frozen up. Can they get anything else off the back of this one? A Chain Lightning could technically kill Misa at this point. Doesn't bounce, however. And Secret's going to immediately TP out. So is Misa in the tree line. They can't catch anyone. And it's a 2-for-1 trade at the end of the day. Make that potentially 3-for-1 if they can catch up to Fox. But the Ice Path falls. Still throwing good damage. Earn as well from Boo Boo. Does Boo Boo have his Veil yet? No, he doesn't. He's only missing 200 gold, though. Blink forward, through from Monang. He realizes it's not going to be necessary. The Arcane Bolt will actually be caught by the Yules, and pretty good way to survive that one.
Yeah, just the Yule's movement speed definitely helping him just make that escape at the moment. TP, they lacked a little bit of slows or just any kind of stun. Centaur couldn't get in range since Stampede was still on cooldown by that time. But look at their aggressive positioning at the moment for the Prime. They definitely want to go in for something here.
Thing is, Aces know this is there. Look at the back position of the Batrider. He wants to come in and try to get a lasso, so they're going to use the Stampede and just retreat anyway. They realize all 5 members are up, and they realize that they are right on top of them. They're handing them. Here comes the chase. Pings go out. They know this is going on. Flamebreak flies forward. Yules catches the Zeus into an Ice Path. That's going to potentially be a kill on Boo Boo there, and that's going to be a big streak. They can finish off him, and that is certainly going to be a quite nice one. Picked up by Misa. That's going to help out to no end, but while this is all going on, you have a rat present. Monang is just split pushing on this anti-mage. It's exactly what he needs to be doing. Anti-mage is a split push team fighter. He will happily split push a lane and farm while his team are fighting 4v5, and when it's necessary, he will come in. This is where the joke of typical anti-mage contribution to a team fight comes from. He will just come in, drop his Mana Void, and start right-clicking when he has his Manta. The anti-mage will only come in when he has finished farming. But now we have the potential for a counter-push coming out from Aces. They're aggressive in the enemy jungle, but they're not going to find anything. Even with their aggressive ward up on that high ground, they just cannot find a good pick-off.
So at the moment for Aces, it's looking pretty bleak since anti-mage, like I mentioned, is just farming up continuously, split pushing as well. Just with the anti-mage and the Nature Prophet, it's so hard for Aces to do anything since 2 lanes are continuously getting pushed. So what do you think is the opening for Aces at the moment? I mean, they themselves must feel like they're pretty damn far behind as it is. Do they just go throw themselves at the racks, for example, trying to get an advantage that way, or what's the next step?
I don't think throwing themselves at the racks is the right call. I think possibly smoke gank territory here. If they can get a pick off into the racks, that might be the better route. But it's still going to be very rough in my mind.
It definitely is, and at the moment Tove managed to avoid the gank. Of course, when the Firefly is activated, it's not like Nefari can lock him down with his Sprout or anything. But in the meantime, Aces finally are gonna go for the last tier 1 tower remaining. They should be able to get it as well. Cliff was used, but tier 1 tower down, so some extra gold for Aces. Definitely nice for them. But the Prime, they're just looking so much better at the moment.
Yep, but now in comes the Prime. They're going to go straight onto Fox. Stampede was popped as well. Can they bring down Fox? That will be a pretty good kill. The Storm comes forward, but it's Yules immediately. And now Misa turns around. The Exorcism is there. Now comes the chase. Ice Path going to completely miss, but it does force Y2K into the tree line. He wants to TP out and try to escape. Will he do so? No, he won't. He did go down. And Thunder Gods now commit, but there was that Yules up on Misa. He was protected from that. And Misa picks up the double. off the back of killing the Skywrath Mage of SCL, but can they go for any more than this? I don't think they can. Boo Boo is going to be well enough away and safe. However, it's going to be the territory of a tier 2 push. This is just relentless. But the top lane, look at this. You've got Nefari and Anti-Mage from Monang just split pushing. This is the threat I was on about. Even if you want to fight and take towers, you have to always remember just the power of Monang. What do we have coming in anyway? Tolov is going to come forward, look for what he can. Yules goes up onto the Nature's Prophet, but Nefari pops his Blade Mail. Elsewhere on the map, there is another fight going on. Secret will go down. Secret will pick up the dominating spree, but in the meantime, in the base, the Nature's Prophet of Nefari will fall to the Bat Rider and the Death Prophet.
In the end, it definitely still favored Aces quite heavily, so considering they got 4 kills out of it, plus 2 towers as well, the tier 1 and tier 2 in the bottom lane. And they're even going to get some pretty nice damage on the tier 3, I think here. The Glyph is still available. The Prime chose not to use it on the tier 2. But 2 heroes are still dead. The Silence onto Secret. No Mystic Flare yet. Waiting for the Mystic Flare comes out a little bit too late. Couldn't catch Secret quite. And actually, Yule Scepter into the Ice Path. Macrofire to wait. Actually, never mind. Dual Breath is going to be enough. And there's the Omnislash only onto Y2K, the tankiest of the targets. But one hero once again down. They're going to continue with their slow push. But in the meantime, Anti-Mage in the enemy base as well.
True, it's going to just be a potential tower for a tower. The tier 3 for the Dire side will fall, but Radiant are holding theirs at least for now. Now we get the blink in the double edge from Y2K, and they'll at least burst down the Undying in a second flat. So they'll defend theirs, and they'll pick up the tower with Monang. But Monang is continually threatening. He did a good amount of damage to the melee ranks, but that's just going to regenerate.
Is he going to come back in as well? I mean, he has his ultimate ready. A little bit too low in mana for just Blink, Manta, and then the ultimate, but man, Aces, they have to be so careful trying to go for this.
Yules goes though, Ice Path to fly. They're going to try to focus Monang, and I don't think they have enough damage, especially when that Manta's popped. They're just going to have to be very careful with this one. And they don't have an Omnislash either. The Omnislash could near enough secure it if they can catch Monang with the Silence or something of that ilk. But now we get the initiation in from Toe. They're just going to try to focus him down with the lasso, but it doesn't matter. Y2K comes in with a beautiful 2-man stomp, as well as that Mana Void, and there's a double kill for Monang. That is exactly what they need, and Y2K was just waiting for it. It was bait, it was a trap, and this could be Rax.
Oh man, that was just absolutely beautiful, to be honest. And oh, Misa, he already popped his Exorcism as well. All that the Prime has to do now is just wait for the Exorcism to expire and then go back in. Yes, the Juggernaut and Shakira will have respawned by that time as well, but I think it's just a worthy trade to say the least. Exorcism, such a huge amount of damage otherwise, and suddenly Aces, when they don't have that in the fight, they're not all that scary anymore.
No, I don't completely agree with that. Without the Exorcism, it's going to be so much easier for the Prime to take the base. I mean, it's one of the best defensive tools they've got in terms of defending themselves. Now this is the opportunity. Down goes the Exorcism, but in comes the Prime, and they're just going to blow Misa up. Next target, their Tombstone possibly. It did get dropped by Killer, but I don't think they're going to be able to do anything. Aces, they're just losing everyone. Secret goes down. Fox is alive, does catch a good Ice Path, but the Omnislash is still going. Secret did buy himself a little bit more time and blink away by Monang. He doesn't want to hang around too much, and does have to respect the threat of the Zeus as well, though. Boo Boo is there, he does have that Veil of Discord, and he's just continually dropping lightning bolts, and they can hang around, especially with that urn, which will sustain them through this. They're going to lose a full set of racks here, in my mind, and what do we have to defend this? You've got Killer hanging around on his Undying, but that's not enough. And we even got a full heart near enough picked up for the... actually, a full heart picked up for Monang on that Anti-Mage, so certainly all starting to add up here in favour of the Prime, and it looks like at this rate we may see a game number 3 between these two.
It sure looks like it at the moment, since just because Anti-Mage, he's reaching that godlike territory. Just with the Manta style illusions, the mana break, it does such a ridiculous amount of damage, so damn fast with the 2 illusions being at a target as well. And they had the Omnislash from Secret coming in, but there were so many treants, the illusions, just way too many units for the Omnislash to actually be useful.
In complete agreement. And from where we sit right now, what else do we have potentially coming online for Aces to help defend themselves is what I want to know. On the Juggernaut, he has got that Aghanims. He's going to have a total of 9 jumps available to him. He doesn't have his level 16 yet, so he's doing what he can, but this is a support Juggernaut, and it just really hasn't paid off in this game. But what else do we see coming potentially online? For the Jakiro, he's going, I believe, for a Sheep Stick, which will help in dealing with that Anti-Mage. Completely the right choice, I think, personally. Over on the Bat Rider, he's got his Blink Dagger, he's got his Force Staff. I think he needs a BKB in this one just to try to stop that Hoof Stomp from messing up his initiations, as it has been time and time again in this game. But for the Undying, he's got his mech. He's going for, I want to say a Crimson Guard, but it could be a Pipe. And finally, over for the Death Prophet. Has the Pipe, so it will be a Crimson Guard going to be coming online for the Undying. And what do we see as the possibility here? Maybe a BKB next, I should think. But they're going to look for Monang. They catch him with the Silence, with the Ice Path. If they can kill the Anti-Mage, that's going to be pretty damn huge. And they will successfully scrap him. How much gold was that worth, though? That is my question. In come the mass TPs to defend the tier 2, and if they can bring down Nefari, that's even better. Omni Slash is there. Will it be enough? I don't think it will be, but what else is going on? Y2K comes in, does get a good Hoof Stomp, but the Tombstone is there. The Tombstone is going to do so much. In comes the Thunder God's Wrath, and everyone is falling. The Prime, can they escape with anyone alive? Are they going to lose SCL to boot? Zeus of Boo Boo is still alive. Where is this Zeus? Hiding in the tree line. He needs to be very careful. If he gets picked off, that's going to be huge. And he doesn't have himself a TP scroll. All he has is his Blink Dagger. And we'll look at the fight recap in a second, but I'm thinking this is a massive swing in gold. And Boo Boo is going to be the last to fall if he doesn't manage to escape this one. And there's no hope to get out of that. That's a full 5-man wipe. The wire, the aces.
I have no idea why, but Poo Poo actually, he casted Arc Lightning from the trees here to the lane. So he completely gave away his position there. Maybe he wanted to disable somebody else's Blink Dagger, although Aces. Batrider wasn't around anyway. They only want to carry a Blink Dagger on their team. I really have no idea why he cast the Arc Lightning. Might have been a mistake, might not have been. But in any case, Aces, they are striking back. Vanguard finished now on Killer and Hawk on the Undying as well. He's level 15. Almost will have his level 3 Flesh Golem. So looking at the graphs now, it was about a 4 to 5k swing, I guess. 5,000 gold lead still for the Prime though. XP, only about 2,000, a little bit less even. So Aces, if they can get another fight like that, they're suddenly gonna look pretty damn good. Especially if they can get a fight like that near the enemy base and just get Drax afterwards.
Yeah, that could be the order of business here, but now Misa going to be focused and just gets blown up by SCL and Y2K. After that fight, that was a 5,000 gold swing, as well as a 10,000 experience swing. That is monumental. But Roshan is now the order of business for the Prime, and they want to protect their anti-mage. And without the anti-mage, they will lose a team fight.
It's definitely true at the moment. I mean, anti-mage is such a huge source of damage for them. They have a decent amount even without, but it's mostly just burst down that one hero. Just Mystic Flare, Lightning Bolt, and Thunder God's Wrath as well, which is, of course, global, does damage to everybody, but they have so much single damage. Anti-mage, they need that little AoE, like we saw in the top lane, for example, the Freeman Hoofstomp, followed by a Freeman Mana Void. If they can get something like that again, it's going to be game over for Aces. Of course, already being 1 Rex behind, it's so hard for them as it is. And they're going to lose their last outer tower at the moment. Things are just still so damn hard for Aces, even though after that one good team fight.
In complete agreement to that one, it's still a very tall order for Aces to climb, but if they demonstrate that they can take a fight like that, they demonstrate they can certainly win the game. However, they did get a little bit of a favor from the anti-mage in the last one since he was running through their base. Nonetheless, though, it's possible here. It's possible, even plausible. But now in comes the initiation from the Skywrath Mage and Y2K. That's just far too much, and they lose the Jakiro. That being a core Jakiro, that is a pretty big loss. And he almost had, well, in fact, he would have had his full Scythe of Vice as well if he would have purchased that.
At the very least, he still has a buyback, which is probably something that he's gonna need here as well. I don't think the Prime will just let up on the pressure here, really, especially having the Aegis and now a Talisman of Evasion on Anti-Mage as well. And
Well,
wow,
the
the Refresher Orb, Nature's Prophet.
Oh god. The Zeus, what's he got? Oh, he's not got a Refresher yet. I'm thinking we see the double Thunder Gods combo coming up soon at this rate. It would be the right choice for the Prime in my mind, just to be able to alpha down the supports very quickly, but from where we sit, that a Talisman of Evasion for the Anti-Mage is probably the biggest deal. That's going to be built into a Butterfly, and a Butterfly on AM is nothing to sniff at.
It's definitely not just the sheer attack speed you get from it already is so damn sick, but look at him just standing his ground. There's the Hoofstomp, Mystic Flare. They're gonna get Misa. I think the Force Staff keeps him alive for a little while. Pipe with the Eul Scepter as well. Actually, Healing Ward. he does remain alive somehow. There's the last summon anti-mage illusion. Are you kidding me, Monang? He saved the Kiilstofte to the Ice Path to wait for him exorcism. They even might get the kill here, but there's still an Aegis just buffering him. They even use the Omni Slash, pouncing through a little bit, but Killer and Hawk is dropping so damn low. Y2K on the run, he goes down, but Monang, there's the Mana Void catching 2. Easy double kill for him. They're going for more. Actually, no, the exorcism doing so much damage. The silences their Ice Path catches him. They kill the anti-mage twice.
That's probably the best fight that Aces could hope for. The fact that they invested that much, they didn't get a tower, they brought down the AM twice. Sure, they lost the Undying, but that's more than enough considering they also managed to get the kill onto that Nature's Prophet as well. Lost the tier 3 in the mid lane, but from where we stand, this fight ain't over. SCL trying to brawl with Secret. Now comes the Thunder God's Wrath, and down goes the Juggernaut. But SCL still is in a lot of trouble, being chased by Tove. Will he be finished off? One more right click, yes he will, but there is still Boo Boo hanging around. Boo Boo doesn't have any more mana remaining on that Zeus, though, which is a pretty damn big problem, and Tove needs to get the hell out of dodge, unless he really wants to reinitiate. But now comes the Yules from Misa, looking for the kill on Boo Boo, but in comes Y2K to stop any form of aggression that can follow up. But Y2K being the savior of this game for the Prime in some ways, considering he has been there to initiate and stop so many Asus. He's been there to save the lives of his teammates with that Hoof Stomp combo. But still, at the end of the day, that's a buyback used a piece, 3 other kills a piece, and so many ultimates. In fact, every single ultimate used in that one. And the fight just is going to happen again. Big train wreck fights like this is what this game has been about ever since the start of this match in the best of 3. This has been absolute carnage and a beauty to watch.
It most certainly has at the moment, and well, does the Prime actually have any other big items coming out at the moment? I mean, the Refresher or was there on Nature's Prophet might not have been the best item decision, but we will see. If they get Refresher onto Boo Boo Zeus as well, it's definitely going to be a sight worthwhile. But at the moment, no other item pickups, at least big ones, are coming out.
Well, the downside here for the Zeus is he has no components towards that Refresher Orb at all, so he's a long way away from that 5,000 odd gold, nearly 6,000 odd gold away. But Sight Device is now present for Fox, and the items are there for Aces. Aces can turn this one. I am going to say that right the hell now. But it's not plausible, really, considering now we get the Thunder Gods to start everything off, and Juggernaut will get his ultimate off onto Boo Boo. Boo Boo will go down in this one. That's a pretty damn big kill. And now they're going to look for Monang, but he is just going to blink out. Doesn't really want to risk that. That's the strength of the Manta, being able to Manta out of that silence. And at the end of the day, killing off the Zeus for the investment of 3 ultimates, as well as now looking for the Nature's Prophet. Actually, he was trying to rout on that top lane, and that's a double kill the way of Misa, so that's even better for him. And Misa, I believe, has that full Atos. He's going to start building towards a heart in my mind sometime soon.
Well, at least Exorcism is in cooldown, but Secret, he doesn't have the Omniscience Blade Fury onto Skyrift though. 4 step out, he should still be safe. I mean, without the Omniscience. Oh, there's the Hex coming out. Now, they get the last summon to Monarch, but they need some damage. Exorcism is still on cooldown, they don't have enough. Anti-Mage, it all barely just tickles him at the moment. He still has to blink away since the rest of the team died. So Aces, they are holding on. Although, just Anti-Mage at the start, he took no damage at all there.
Indeed, and honestly, if the Anti-Mage still had his Mana Void and drops it on the Death Puppet right now, it would be like a nuke going off. But still, the Anti-Mage is doing work. Fox is being taken down slowly. And from where I sit, this is all on Monang. If he can get the kills with his Anti-Mage, it could be golden. But the only way to kill Monang is with that Death Prophet. Then most importantly, they need the Exorcism. But now comes the Stampede to try to escape. The Flame Break's there to try to slow this one down, but Tove hasn't got any mana. He can't lasso anyway, so it's a very rough one for him. But Y2K comes in, tries to get a Hoof Stomp, and immediately gets Sheep, but they lose the Jakiro. Now in comes Nefari on that Nature's Prophet, and they're trying to chase down and bring down Misa. If they can finish off Misa, that's going to be a absolutely huge kill. But now comes the turnaround. They're going to go on the Undying instead. He pops his Crimson Guard and buys himself some time, but is that time going to be enough? They're going to potentially lose their final sets of racks here. Anti-Mage going straight for the range racks in that mid lane, now going for the melee racks. They are on the clock. They need to initiate and end this push before Monang can finish off these racks, and the fortification comes through, going to buy some time, but Nefari is equally pushing another lane. So Anti-Mage still in the mid, pushing that one. They're going to focus Nefari instead, a much easier kill. They bring down the Nature's Prophet nearly, but Y2K will come in to slow this down. Nefari will still fall at the end of the day, but in comes the Juggernaut. The ultimate doing some work to Boo Boo. Boo Boo will actually fall again. big use of the ult, but now in comes the Mana Void doing some colossal damage to Misa, who's actually stuck in the tree line right now with the TP, sure, but that's still going to lock him out for a few seconds. And now comes the turnaround. They could potentially bring down the Undying. He's going to be forced away with no mana, and the Batrider will finish off the Skywrath Mage. So a 3-for-1 at this point in the game, but they lost their middle full set of racks, and their bottom racks are the only ones still standing. They even lost to tier 4 in this. It's going to be a very big hill to climb. But Monet, going to get Yules on one of his illusions. Ice Path comes through. Not going to be able to catch the Anti-Mage in this one, but the Anti-Mage is just so damn tanky. He is being a pest. He is being a constant pest. Can they really stop the Anti-Mage from just taking racks like this?
Well, they can slow it down, but I think there's no stopping it anymore. I mean, you're 2 racks behind. I think it's just a matter of time now before the last set of racks just falls and it's pretty much GG. I just don't see Aces being able to push out of their base at all, considering they're up against the 90 Mage and the Nature's Prophet both.
Yeah, if they take their eyes off that Rax for half a second, the Nature's Prophet will just come in and kill it. The same applies to the Anti-Mage. We've seen Anti-Mage live on the dire side of the map more than he has the Radiant side. He has been camping the top lane for so long, he then camped the mid lane, and now they're going to try to bring down Monang, but the 4 stuff comes out to save him. The Macropie comes down as well, but in comes the Stampede. Lasso will catch the Anti-Mage. Do they have a silence? In comes the Crimson Guard, going to buy some time, but the Mana Void is there. Thunder Gods will fall. Monang still hasn't managed to cast that Mana Void yet, though, and that's going to be a pretty big thing. Exorcism is here. It's working down Monang. He's silenced and will fall. Pretty damn big kill. But in the base, the Nature's Prophet is just taking the racks. The Ping's going, it's going to be too late. They're not going to be able to get there to defend in time, so it will be Mega Creeps. Boo Boo's still brawling in the middle of this, though. And this is just an absolutely huge fight that's completely irrelevant due to Nefari. And that Rax will go down. There is Mega Creeps, and Nefari will fall in exchange. At this point, Aces only have one recourse, the death wall down that mid lane. If they can't finish the base off now, it's all over but for the crying. Hell, the tier 4 went down to the super creeps in the meantime, and the Ancient's exposed.
Oh, maybe if Misa can purchase himself a refresher orb just about now and then go just ball through the mid lane, although we have to consider there are still 4 buybacks on the Prime as well. So Aces, even if they did manage to reach the enemy base, they would still have to go up against a full team there. Oh man, this game feels like over, but Aces, they're not giving up yet. They're gonna just try for one more team fight, I think, and if that doesn't work out, then just GG out, but one more team fight. Double Hex picked up, 1 on Tove on the Batrider, 1 on Misa on the Death Prophet. So they actually might be able to do it if Secret has enough to just deal with the Mega Creeps in the base.
The Juggernaut of all heroes can. He's got his healing ward, it'll buy him enough time, he'll drag them to the well as much as possible, and here we go. That death wall down the mid lane, the last hurrah for Aces in game number 2. But nonetheless, even if Aces can't take this, there's the game 3 still to go. Game 3 is still on that horizon, and now in comes the defense. Can the Prime repel in convincing fashion? Anti-Mage going to come forward with those illusions, start working on that Tombstone. Without the Tombstone, it's going to take away a big amount, but in comes the Skywrath Mage getting lassoed out by the bat, and they lose SCL. That's a pretty damn big thing. But the Zeus is here doing some good damage to Misa. Hex comes out onto Mongang. That's going to buy some time, as well as Y2K stunning out Killer. But where is the kills? They're going to be able to bring down the Death Prophet with one more right click from Nefari. The Mana Void cleans up the Jakiro, and that's going to be GG. We are going to that full game 3, and I am looking forward to it.
Yeah, this game was just so damn action-packed. We had more than 2 kills per minute, which is pretty much the dream of a caster, just non-stop action pretty much, and excellently fought by Aces still. They hung on for so damn long, even considering how huge the Anti-Mage was. So still well fought, and so far those teams, they are actually neck and neck, and it is completely justified that we are going to a game 3. But that's where we're going now, guys, so hope you enjoyed the casting, and if you did, you can always follow us. All the links are below the stream. For me personally, it's @Coucher on Twitter and Twitch. My co-caster, Mr_Blackadder on the Twitch and Twitter both as well. But guys, see you in game number 3 for the just deciding game of the series.